Ravi Vishwal in for Richard Roper today on the Rowan Roper Show. And this is interesting. We were just talking about the guy who wants to build an island, which is a boat. It's really a barge.
It's a barge.
It's a barge.
With 2 levels.
Yes, and a swimming pool.
Big imagination, though.
But there's something that's going to keep everything from being able to happen. That is, the Kennedy is going to be reconstructed. The bridge over the Ohio Street, Ontario Street.
You'd be going as fast in your boat on the Kennedy as you would in your car this weekend.
Yeah.
And over the next few.
It is not going to be pleasant, actually, what's going to be happening here. And there's some great consideration, great concern about what's going to actually happen with the downtown businesses. John Chico is the president and CEO of the Magnificent Mile Association, formerly Greater North Michigan Avenue Association, right?
That's correct.
All right, they just changed the name because it was too much. It was just too much for everybody. And so Magnificent Mile Association is very concerned, right, about making sure everybody knows that the city's still going to be open. Let's talk a little bit about what's actually going to happen. I don't think a lot of people are familiar with this. Starting this weekend, they're going to close the Ontario-Ohio Street Bridge for just the weekend, for the next 3 weekends. Is that how that's going to go? John?
I believe they're actually restricting traffic on the Kennedy itself. So that's why we're very concerned about people knowing about what are their alternatives, because getting through the downtown area, traffic's going to go from, I believe, 5 lanes to 3, and that's going to be tough.
At 15 miles an hour each as well.
If it could go that fast.
The demolition will require shutting down. Let me see if I get this right now. Christina is our expert here. So let's let her just nod, even though she's not exactly sure either. The demolition will require shutting down the inbound lanes of the Kennedy and the reversible express lanes in the downtown area, with all inbound traffic squeezed into 2 15-mile-per-hour temporary lanes that will serve as part of a detour. Now, the problem I have here is inbound means, because this is downtown, they both mean inbound. Right. What do they mean?
Inbound from Chicago Avenue to Grand Avenue and the reversibles, and 1 lane outbound between Grand and Ogden, westbound Ontario feeder.
On both sides?
Yeah.
This is on both sides. All right, Chicago.
Yeah, they're basically redoing the entire Ontario ramp, which may be leading out, but it's central to the whole.
Yeah, letting a lane open in each direction, you know what I mean? Just 2 lanes on one side, 1 lane on the other side. It's going to be restricted for sure. People are,
And how long does this go on for?
55 hours each weekend.
Whose idea was this?
Not mine.
Would you like to bring that person to me right now? And I'd like to talk to him about it.
It has to be done. These things don't last forever.
It
doesn't last forever. We don't want to be doing the story about the bridge that fell down. It has to be done.
10 p.m. Friday through 5 a.m. Monday, 3 weekends in a row.
But then during the weeks, it'll be back to normal.
Correct.
John,
now, doesn't that sound like a ready-made opportunity to take Metra or CTA?
Oh, look
That's
at
the message.
Course,
when did you start working for that?
Doing my job for me. Take public transportation.
Yeah, don't just say downtown shut down, because that's not the case at all. There are several ways. There are going to be extra trains from Metra and CTA servicing the Magnificent Mile and everything else downtown. The city is going to be as vibrant, and it's June. John, you need June, don't you, to ensure that we continue to have a robust local retail economy.
I'll tell you what, Chicagoans and visitors to Chicago, they love their weekends. I've been working with a guy from Birmingham, Alabama, who's doing his 37th wedding anniversary this weekend, and traffic is not getting in his way.
Okay. All right. What do you mean we're working with him? Trying to find something for he and his wife to do?
Oh, yeah. No. We got a whole list of restaurants and places to go, things to do. This is something they've been planning for weeks.
Okay, I just want to make sure John doesn't do this for everybody who calls in from other places.
We're desperate. But John, you really worry about the messaging here, because just a little bit of a reduction in foot traffic, for example, really can make a difference to the bottom line of the retailers out there.
Oh, absolutely. Not only the retailers, but our restaurants, our attractions. We've got a lot of different things for people to do throughout the day. And, you can get down here. You just need to think a little bit harder this weekend and the next 2.
All right, and then it'll all be okay.
It'll be wonderful.
Okay, now let me just ask you a question, John. Because a lot of us are lifers here, right? Even though Ravi is from the planet Mars, he's spent most of the last decade here.
I chose to be here.
They say it's going to be done in 3 weeks. Is it really going to be done in 3 weeks?
Well, the engineers say it will be, and they've pulled off a couple of other engineering feats recently. So let's give them a break and think the best.
Do we think are they replacing the spans of the bridge too?
Oh, they built there's a whole new span. That's already done. I drive in every day, so that the new span's already done. Now they got to take the old span out.
It's a 3-unit 8-span concrete structure, Rob.
It's a 3-unit 8-span. How much for that?
I looked that up right quick.
A 3-unit 8. So that span, is it replacing are we moving the span over? I was just on that span. I didn't notice this.
Yes. Yeah, they've moved it to the right a little bit. You know, that span's almost as old as me, so I can understand why it needs to be taken down.
Okay.
Have faith in the engineers. I'm the son of an engineer.
Mm-hmm.
They're good at math. They care about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
After what they were able to do at the Wells Street Bridge, which was magnificent, that engineering marvel, the two sides of it, they took 114,000 points of connection with a 1/4 of an inch variance, and they made it fit on time.
Oh, that is spoken like the son of an engineer right there.
There is potential, though, that weather could play a factor. The transportation secretary did say that if weather is an issue, it could extend this project a little longer.
John just wants everyone to come down to downtown Chicago, any way they possibly can. Helicopter in if you have to, and enjoy the restaurants and the stores, restaurants, and bars.
You're going to see John down
right?
there. He's a man of. He always wears great hats.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. John Chico, president of the Magnificent Mile Association. They have their own concerns. I have my concerns.
Of course you do.
You're just going to let that bridge sit there until it crumbles, and then there's a huge story.
Well,
come on. It's engineering.
Well,
he's not completely against that.
I'm not. No, I'm really not. I mean, it's a lot of.
It's not busted.
But wait a second. The Wells Street Bridge. You brought up the worst example ever of this, Ravi. The Wells Street Bridge. It took them like 60 years to finish that project, as I recall. It's been like 3 years on and off. Right?
Yeah, but in terms of the scale of what they had to do and
there's train traffic.
Right. There's 2 levels and the amount of planning that has to go into it. You have to work with the CTA, work on their schedule as well, and try to pull projects with differing objectives, pull them together and do it in the least disruptive way. That's a huge feat, and it's never perfect. But I was impressed by that one. I have to admit, I've watched these things before. It was a great live shot from across the way, and to look out at these guys and to be able to move out one hunk of bridge, move in a new bridge, and then do it again 6 weeks later from the mart. It was incredible.
All right, hold on. We'll come back and talk about this. Are they actually moving one hunk out and putting another one in, or are they just going to a bridge next to it?
They're moving one hunk out at a time.
One hunk out at a time, which is exactly what Christina did for years.
That's the technical term.
Yeah. Rugby baseball in for Richard Roper today. Son of an engineer, we just learned during the last segment, and during the commercial break, too. Ravi is so excited about the idea of this bridge reconstruction on the Ohio-Ontario ramp that it's sickening, actually.
I don't want to be caught in the mess, of course, like anyone else, and I'm sure that Christina will help me avoid it, but these things have to be done. Yeah. They have to be done. They have to be done.
So they're going to do, it's over 3 weekends. This weekend, the following weekend, and then the weekend after that. Mm-hmm. That is, according to my estimation, 3 weekends. Now,
weather is also an issue.
Weather is an issue.
Weather permitting.
Weather permitting.
Now let's think about this for a second. So they're going to take a span. There's four things they got to connect here, right? There's 4 spans, and they're going to take one out, put the next one in, and then it's going to be 1 weekend. Mm-hmm. Then they're going to take one out, put another one in. That's going to be another weekend. Then I'm going to take one out, put another one in, there's going to be another weekend. Then there's one lonely Piggy Wiggy who's not getting replaced.
Uh-oh.
Right? Or am I misunderstanding what they're doing?
They might be able to accelerate.
Do 2 at once.
Do it, yeah.
2 at once.
Yeah, sometimes things work a little bit faster than expected.
And these things are already built, and they're there. They used to have a problem. There was a big expansion problem in the summer with that bridge. If they would ever have to raise it for river traffic there. Mm-hmm. And then put it back together. It didn't always come back together right.
No, that sucks when that happens.
Yeah, it's not right. Yeah. That's an engineering thing, I think. We should call it in.
But they have to account for that. There's math to account for that. Heat, expansion, contraction.
Sure. Yeah.
They got it all. Trust the engineers.
Metallurgic tolerances. Yes, all of that.
We need to trust engineers.
Okay.
This city is a city for engineers. It's a testament to the power and ingenuity of engineers.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great. Listen, I still think though it's a city that's got nothing but traffic nightmares already built into it, and now we're adding a traffic nightmare, and especially for all the people who are going to be moving through, because you're going to have this and this road work that's associated with it on the Kennedy, or is it the Ryan? That's one of the great debates of all times. That right at Ohio and Ontario, when you cross that. Isn't that going to be is that problem going to be even after those weekends, during those weeks? Are they going to restrict those lanes or no? Christina?
I do not believe so.
Do not believe so. Why do we not have an exact answer on that question?
It's not in my paperwork, sir.
I'm sorry, that's the wrong answer.
Which makes me think no, because it has all the closures during that 55-hour period of time.
Okay. So they will open back up.
Unless when they drop the concrete on the Kennedy and then remove the concrete pieces, if they leave one behind, it might.
It's more traffic that's involved here. But
why do they have to have the traffic there?
Well, just in terms of what we're talking about fixing. But it is.
Why don't they just close the exits? That's my question.
And loop everybody around this. You'd have to loop everybody around the circle interchange.
That's okay. That's what the circle interchange is there for.
And then you'd have people going all over the place in the West Loop, and you'd be going up and down Halstead, and you'd have all this traffic there.
But during these weekends, during these 3 upcoming weekends, that traffic right there, you can't get on or off at Ohio Street, right?
Right. Well, there would be two access lanes. They're down to 15 miles per hour. I'm not sure that you can't come in off of Ohio. Remember, Ontario's outbound.
Can you come off of Ohio, Christina? Can you exit on Ohio?
Yes.
You can for that period of time.
Yeah.
Right. But you can come into downtown that way if you really had to.
Yeah, they also have backup weekends, just so you know, if the weather does not permit.
I'm sure they do.
They have backup weekends in July.
Well into 2016. I'm sure that's true.
It's true. I'm serious. They have the 3 backup weekends, too.
But just remember, what I was going to say is that from an engineering standpoint, for all you guys who are driving home and ladies, this is actually not as sophisticated a job as the Wells Street Bridge was. And the Wells Street Bridge was an incredible...
Give it up on the Wells Street Bridge.
Have some faith. When you get in an airplane, you have faith in the pilot. Have some faith in the people.
I don't have faith in the pilot.
Maybe not the CTA, but the engineers who designed this.
That's why I've learned how to land any one of those planes I'm going to be flying on.
Sure.
So I don't have faith. Just in case I got to do it.
Spam it again.
Just what I'm going to do. Oh, God. Well, I don't understand then. I mean, so is the traffic that's moving past Ohio Street going to be restricted too? It doesn't matter? It's going to be a mess on the Kennedy and the Dan Ryan anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Avoid it. Use the 294. Use Lakeshore.
Public transportation is recommended.
Yeah. Go see John Chico downtown, but, ride the train. Just come downtown.
Okay.
Don't make him sad.
He's apparently going to have dinner with somebody from Alabama for some reason. I don't understand what's going on there.
It's the way to really fly. That's right.
I don't understand. The people could call the Magnificent Mile Association and ask where they're going to dinner, and John takes them out to dinner. Is that I swear to God, that's what that sounded like to me.
Like that.
I don't understand. A guy from Alabama called. Well, I mean, there should be like
service,
millions
baby.
from Alabama.
That's service.